Hi children, this tutorial is going to discuss about form handling in PHP. We know that the common way for a user to interact with web server is through forms. So when a form is presented to the user, he fills up some text boxes and clicks the necessary buttons of the form. Then the user finally submits the form to the server by hitting the submit button. So the contents of the form, that is the data contained in the form, are encoded and transmitted to the server, and the server actually uses a program to decode the contents. Then it performs the computation and produces the output. But when PHP is used to process the form data, it implicitly decodes the data. So it is possible to have a PHP script to handle the data or to process the data in the same XHTML document that defines the form. But it is better to keep two separate documents, one for defining the form and the one for processing the form data. So the document that defines the form specifies the document that handles the form data. So it is possible through setting an action attribute of the form tag. So PHP, it is possible that PHP can be configured so that the data values contained in the form are directly available as implicit variables. That names of those implicit variables match with the names of the corresponding form elements. But this kind of implicit access is not allowed in many of the web servers because of security reasons. So the most recommended approach here is to use implicit arrays like $_post and $_get to get the form values. So the peculiarity of these arrays have keys that match with the names of form elements, and it contains the values that were given by the clients as data. So an example is given here. If a form has a text box named form and the method used here is post, so the value means the phone number is contained in $_post of form. So now let's see an example. So here we are going to define two documents. The first document which contains the form definition, which can be presented to the user to accept the data from the user, and the second one is the document to process the form data and to display the output. So here you can see that this is an XHTML file with title popcorn sales, and you can see form element here with action attribute set with the URL. So this URL is actually the PHP file which processes the form elements, the form which is defined in this particular document. Method used here is post. So this is some heading information. Welcome to this gymnastics booster club PowerPoint, etc. And then we are going to define a table. Okay, this is a table. So table which is used to accept the content of, the first row of this table is used to accept the buyer's name. Then the second and third row is used for accepting the address of the customer. And then the next table is for displaying the order information. So the product name of the product, unit price, and the quantity required. So these are the column headings, and now let's see each rows. So the first row is for the first item. It is unpopped popcorn, whose unit price is $3, and the next column, that cell is for accepting the quantity given by the user. So 3 digits is allocated for that. Then comes the next item, caramel popcorn. Again, it's unit price and space for accepting the data in the quantity required. and caramel nut popcorn, its unit price and space for accepting its quantity required, and toffee nut popcorn, unit price and text box for accepting the quantity required. Then again this form contains some radio buttons to accept the payment methods. So I think four radio buttons are used here for with values Visa, MasterCard, Discover and Check. Okay, you have to remember this name fields. Why? Because these name fields are actually used as subscripts or the string subscript to access its corresponding value. So in the previous case, the name attribute is caramel nut, toffee nut, see, unpop, caramel, etc. So these are all required to access its corresponding value through the implicit arrays, $_post or $_get. And finally, we have submit and reset buttons with value submit order and clear order form. And this is the output. The first table will accept name and address, and the second table with 3 column headings, product, price and quantity. It displays the names of 4 products, its unit price, and area is there, text area is there to give the quantity required, and the payment methods are displayed over here with submit order and clear order form buttons. Next PHP, we are going to see the PHP script file which handles this data which is contained in this form. So it uses the form data to compute cost of each product, the total cost and the total number of items ordered. So the name and the output, it displays the output of cost of product, total cost, total number of items ordered along with name of the customer or the name of the product, unit price, number ordered, etc. Now let's see the file. So this is also an XHTML file with the title process the popcorn 3.html form, and here we can see the PHP tag to get the form, and this is the portion of PHP code which is used to get or accept the data from the user. See $_post, which is the array which contains the value of the element whose name attribute is unpop. So unpop contains the quantity required for the item unpopped popcorn, and it is assigned to a scalar variable unpop. Similarly, all those items, that's quantity required for those items, are assigned to its corresponding scalar variables, and name of the customer, customer address, payment methods are all assigned to some scalar variables. And then this is for if any of the quantities left blank, then we have to set them with value 0. Why? Because we are here we are going to calculate the total number of items ordered. So for to calculate that instruction, we need to set the corresponding variables with value 0 if they left blank. So if $unpop equal to null string, then assign that variable with 0. Likewise, for all the 4 items we have written the instructions, and then this is the portion which computes the item cost by multiplying that item with the the quantity required with the unit price. So it calculates the cost of 4 items, and then it calculates the total price by adding the variables, the scalar variables, which holds the total cost of each items, and then finally it computes the total number of items ordered. And then comes the portion which displays these results along with the customer details. So name of the customer, address, etc. And then this is the table which is used to display the product name, unit price, quantity ordered in, and its item cost. So these are you can see 4 4 rows to handle these data. It is product, unit price, quantity ordered, and item cost for the first. These are the column headings. This is the row for the first item, unpopped popcorn, then for caramel popcorn, and then caramel nut and toffee nut popcorn. And finally, you can see some print statement to display the information of total cost and total number of items ordered. So your order total dollar total underscore items of popcorn items, which displays the total number of items ordered because it is contained in this particular variable, which is interpolated the variable name dollar total underscore items, and then the total price. So here you can see format string of percentage 5.2f. It is a floating point number with 2-digit space to the left of the decimal point and 5-digit space to the to the left of 5-digit space to the left of the decimal point and 2-digit space to the right of the decimal point. And then the last statement, which prints the payment method. So this is the output, which contains the customer details, and the table which contains the details of the products, its price, quantity ordered, and cost of each items. And then finally the total number of items ordered, total cost, and along with that it displays the chosen method of payment. That's all. Thank you.